Assalamualaikum and good morning to Puan Hasliza and Dr. Nora Shikir. Our topic for presentation is a review of knowledge management. Okay, I will introduce our group members. First, Darmini, Laili, Nur Adila, Anis and Nazatul. In this presentation, we will talk about introduction, literature review, which is definition of knowledge, classification of knowledge, definition of knowledge management and knowledge management process. Next, scope of knowledge management and conclusion and future directions. For introduction, this paper discusses about the term knowledge and knowledge management. These terms are being reviewed and the classification of knowledge and processes of knowledge management are being discussed together. The review of KM is being done as to ensure success in its implementation in other areas for development and future use. Main problems that this research aims to investigate are usage of the knowledge and knowledge management being used generally, organizationally, and in education field. The main objectives to review the usage of knowledge and its classification and knowledge management and its processes generally, organizationally and educationally. The question posed in this research: what are the definition of knowledge? What are the classification of knowledge? What are the definition of knowledge management? And what are the processes of knowledge management? The predicted outcomes of this research is reviewing the term knowledge and its classification and knowledge management and its process generally, organizationally and educationally.
Next, I'm going to talk about knowledge definitions in the literature review. These are the knowledge definitions based on the literature review that has been extracted from the journals that we have studied. The first one, according to Lee and Zhang, 2010, knowledge can be regarded as a valuable commodity for organizations in modern knowledge economy, which can be created internally within organization or externally. This has been cited in the organization area. Next, Maracas in 1999 defined that knowledge is the application of instincts, ideas, rules, procedures and information to guide the actions and decisions of a problem solver within a particular problem context. This is a general cited area. Next, Chu, K.W. Wang, M. and UNAHK in 2011 has defined that organizations have the potential to learn and that new knowledge may be effectively incorporated into specific practices so that the knowledge is accessible when needed. This has been cited in school environment or educational field. According to William F. Otto 2006, knowledge is the final level and is reliable information pertinent to the topic or decision. This has been used in decision making using KM. According to Evans et al. 2003, knowledge is dependent on people and that HRM issues such as recruitment and selection, education and development, performance management, pay and reward, as well as the creation of a learning culture are vital for managing knowledge within firms. This has been cited under knowledge management and HRM. Next, classification of knowledge. According to Mees and McMahon in 2012, knowledge can be classified into two types, tacit and explicit. Tacit knowledge is highly complex in nature as it is quite abstract, personal, context, specific and dynamic. This has been a general cited area. According to Cochrane, Smith and Lytle in 1999, they provide a valuable distinction in the types of knowledge that inform practice, knowledge of practice or information about student performance, and knowledge of practice or information about best practice. This has been cited in school environment or education. According to Duff 2001, Hunter et al. 2002 and Chua 2002, classification of organizational knowledge is along the explicit tacit dimension. Explicit knowledge is considered to be formal and objective and can be expressed unambiguously in words, numbers and specifications. Tacit knowledge, by contrast, is subjective, situational and intimately tied to the knower's experience. This has been cited in knowledge management and human resource management. Boysot in 1987 defined that knowledge as either codified or uncodified and as diffused or undiffused within an organization. This has been cited under organization area. Next,
I will present about knowledge management definition. According to Farsan M.E. et al. 2013,
M is the planning, organizing, motivating, and controlling of people, process, and system in the organization to ensure that its knowledge-related assets and improve and effectively employed. Area cited is KM and organization learning among physical education teachers. Next is Alawi and Littner, 1999 and 2001. A systematic and organizationally specified process for acquiring, organizing, and communicating both tacit and explicit knowledge of employees, so that other employees may make use of it to be more effective and productive in their work. Area cited is organization. According to Baron 2000, KM is an integrated systematic approach to identifying, managing, and sharing all of an enterprise information assets, including database, documents, policies, and procedures, as well as previously unarticulated expertise and experience held by individual workers. Area cited is school environment or education. Next is Gray, 1999. KM is a process involving identification of critical information, sharing of information, protecting and enhancing the value of information, and leveraging knowledge utility in major organizational level decisions, recited in general. I will be presenting about knowledge management process. According to Farsan M.E. et al., the process of KM involves knowledge acquisition, creation, refinement, storage, transfer, sharing, and utilization. Area cited is KM and organization learning among physical education and teachers. Next is Smith and McMahon. KM comprised of the following steps: knowledge generation, sharing, adaptation, application, and new knowledge creation. The recited is in banking. Next is Go 2001. KM as three process including knowledge acquisition, knowledge conversation, and knowledge application. The recited is in food industry. And last one is Chu KW et al. 2011. KM brings together three core organizational resources: people, process, and technologies to enable the organization to use and share information and knowledge more effectively. Area cited is school environment or education. Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Anis. I would like to present the scope of knowledge management and empirical studies. Scope of knowledge management, it focuses on a few areas which are decision making, leadership, food industry, school environment or education field, human resource, banking industry, leadership, and in general. A few critiques on KM has been expressed, such as disorganized and ineffective in the review of KM paper. The usage of KM in HRM has been introduced in organization. The argument of tacit and explicit knowledge and their uses in the organization has been described in well manner. Next, empirical studies. Based on the previous study, it can be observed that knowledge plays an important role in an organization and education environment. According to Chu KW et al. 2011, organizations have the potential to learn and that new knowledge may be effectively incorporated into specific practices so that the knowledge is accessible when needed. Based on this theory, it can be observed that knowledge will be used in the organization as a culture and practice, and at the same time enabling the access of knowledge that are available in the organization environment. Next, conclusion.
Okay, for a conclusion, this paper research is all about definition of knowledge. definition of knowledge management, classification of knowledge management process that take from different authors from different years. The terms has been reviewed generally, organizationally, and educationally. The review on these three areas has made the application of knowledge and knowledge management been adopted in many places to ensure development of a person, system, community, and organization. This paper also has explained about the scope of knowledge management in every field. It also explained the knowledge management limitation that has been found based on the previous study that have been done. Okay, the last one is for future direction. The future works of this study are in identifying the knowledge management tools and identifying whether the tools are being utilized fully in making the knowledge management as a factor develop performance in organizations. The objectives of these future works are, the first one is to determine the problems occur during knowledge management process. For the second one is to ensure the usage of knowledge management tools in an organization so that the knowledge from expert can be kept safely. Alright, that's all. Thank you so much.